Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome to Steins Gate 0. I am very excited to finally be able to play through Steins Gate 0. A few months ago I finished my playthrough of Steins Gate and it took me months to do since I was doing really long episodes that just took of course a while to record and then, to edit and upload, but that was just to reduce the episode count. I don't think I'll do that for this one. We'll see. I don't know how long this one is compared to the original Steins Gate, but boy am I excited to get into Steins Gate 0, and it's mostly because I have no idea what this one is about. When I played through Steins Gate, I had already watched the anime. However, there was a lot in the visual novel that wasn't in the anime, and I thought that was all just really interesting, and plus it fleshed out quite a bit that just went over my head when I was watching the show. But with this one, like I said, I've not watched it. I have no idea what to expect. This is going to be 100% blind. All I know is that Steins Gate 0 takes place, I think, near the end of Steins Gate when, I guess Okabe kind of gives up. And, just gives up on his attempt to try and save Kurisu and get to the Steins Gate world line. By the way, spoilers there. Honestly, if you have not played or watched Steins Gate or watched my playthrough of Steins Gate or a playthrough of Steins Gate, this is not for you. This is going to be not much of a sequel, but a different path that is taken that I guess sets up the actual ending of Steins Gate. That's all I know. But how we get there, I'm not sure. I guess that's why this exists. I'm very excited to play, and I was going to pick this up on PS4, but my good buddy Aura bought this for me on Steam, so thank you very much to him. I guess I should also disable the mouse cursor. I just realized that I still had that on, so give me just a second. Okay, now I think we're good to go. I completely forgot that I have to manually disable the mouse cursor being shown. I definitely don't want that in a visual novel. So, we will now jump in. Again, if you guys have not gone through Steins Gate in some sort of way, I don't recommend that you watch this. This is not much of a sequel, but it's definitely a continuation of a sort. Let's do this, guys. Ooh, I'm getting excited. That music in the beginning was just so good. Another thing is that, oh man, we're really jumping into it. Guys, I gave those spoiler warnings. Because that's all this is. Really jumping into it, man. Holy fuck. Ooh. I guess this is our intro? Maybe that, or is just telling us what the date was. I think that's what it was. Oh man, I'm digging this, dude. This is, oh my god, this is modern. This is updated compared to just a completely different style compared to the original Steins Gate, because that was a few years old. All right, let's do this. I completely forgot what I was going to say earlier. Oh yeah, I also know that we're going from mad scientist to sad scientist in this. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that, but let's just go for it. The hatch opened. Bright light flooded my eyes. Where was I? My eyes narrowed. I could barely make out the summer's twilight sky. I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to disappear. But someone grabbed my arm and dragged me out.
うお、もう帰ってきたお。まだ1分も経ってないのに。
おかりん?
I didn't have the energy to respond to my own nickname. I fell to the ground and wrapped my arms around myself.
おかりん!
Mayuri ran to me and looked down, her face worried. But her kindness felt like nothing but a nuisance. Don't talk to me. Just leave me alone.
おかりん、血まみれじゃん。どうしたん？
父さん、タオルと水、あと服も。 今すぐ手に入れてきて。
どういうことか説明プリーズ。
いいから早く。
わかったお。
I don't know why, but Dadu sounds a little different. Did they change his voice act? They couldn't have. They couldn't have. Dadu is Dadu. Dadu ran to the door that led back inside the building.
オカリン、大丈夫？しっかりして。死なないで。
You know, I know this is a dreadful moment and everything, but I love the GUI and everything. It's leading us into that despair that's to come. But everything looks just... It looks like we are literally continuing in Steins Gate, like a totally legitimate continuation. Maybe that's because that's what this is, but I don't know. This feels awesome. Again, thank you, Aura, for buying me this. Like, goddamn.
大丈夫。怪我してるわけじゃないよ。
Stop it. Just get away from me. Leave me alone. I couldn't save her. In fact, I killed her myself. Right here 3 weeks ago. I killed her. I'm a murderer.
無駄だったんだ。何をやっても無駄だ。全部決まってしまっていることなんだよ。同じだ。真入れの時と同じなんだ。どれだけもがいたって結果は同じになる。
No matter how many times I try, it will all converge back to the same result. The process doesn't matter. Whether you time travel or time leap, you can't go back and change the results of the past. I thought I understood that cruel truth. But now I was forced to realize it again, and in the worst possible way.
無駄だよ。無駄なんだ。何もかも無駄なんだよ。俺はやっぱりクリスを助けられないんだ。分かってた。分かってたんだ。こうなるって予想してたんだ。もう疲れた。ずっと休んでないんだ。だからもういいよ。
I believe he said similar things in Steins Gate.
オカリン、一体何が。
俺が殺してしまった。バカみたいだ。全部俺のせいだ。
However, I think this is where things take a turn further different.
マキセ・クリスをさ、刺し殺しちゃったんだ。殺した？嘘、そんな。でも安心して。まだもう一回分タイムトラベルはできる。
ほっといてくれ。俺のことなんか何度やったって結果は同じだ。
何言ってんの？諦めるつもり？オカリンおじさんの肩には何十億っていう人の命がかかってるんだよ。たった一回の失敗が何だって言うんだ。
クリスはどうやったって助けられない。世界線の収束には逆らえない。
Yeah. That's the reality of this world. I learned that a long time ago.
こうなったらビンタしてでも気合い入れ直して。ダメだよ。無理強いするのは良くないよ。こんなボロボロになってるオカリン見てられないもん。でもさ、この のままじゃ未来を変えられない。どうして未来のことをオカリン一人に押し付けるの？そんなの重すぎるよ。オカリンおじさんには世界の観測者としての能力があるからだよ。オカリンが望んだわけじゃないのに。それにもう一度やったってまたオカリンが傷つくだけだって思うな。未来のことを人一人で変えようなんてきっと無理なんだよ。だからそのためのシュタインズゲートで、気持ちはわかるよ。でもさ、私も未来をかけてここまで来てるんだよね。どっちにしろ2036年には戻れないんだ。そう簡単に諦めるつもりはないから。オカリンおじさん、一つだけ忠告しとく。このタイムマシンに残されてる燃料は有限なの。さっきは往復2回分しか残ってないって言ったけど、実はまだそれなりに余裕はある。それでも移動できる時間はおよそ344日分。片道のタイムトラベルだとしても今から1年と経たないうちに7月28日には届かなくなる。覚えといて。その日になったらさ、私はたとえ一人でも飛ぶよ。
Someone was saying something to me, but I couldn't understand the words. I didn't want to listen to anything. I just wanted to sleep. Just let this all end. Just let me go.
オカリン？オカリン。ねえ、オカリン。もう、頑張らなくてもいいからね。泣いてもいいんだよ。オカリン。マユシーは、そばにいるからね。オカリン。
God damn it, dude. I forgot how much I loved Mayuri. She was just so sweet. She was such a necessity in the game. I don't know if Mayuri's words were the reason why, but the tears started to flow. I decided to forget everything. Ever since that day, I stopped going to the Future Gadget Lab. Damn. Some fun times there. Oh shit, we already got an achievement. Absolute zero. Yeah. Alright, so now it's November 23rd. We've definitely gone forward a few months, I'm pretty sure. Oh shit, man. We got this. We have this? What is this? Oh shit. We got a phone upgrade. Alright. I did this last time. We gotta go into the settings. Wallpaper settings. Let's not do that. Oh, here we go. Alright. You know, I regret a lot of things, but I definitely don't regret this one. Just kidding, I actually do. Alright, let's go for... not that one. That brings back memories. Yeah, I guess it'd be this one. I mean, that's what we had last time. Yeah, it'd have to be this one. Let's go with that one. Alright. Oh, I didn't change the wallpaper. What the fuck? I guess I actually have to select it. My bad. Alright. Ryan? Oh, okay, so it's like text messaging. We don't do email anymore. And then we can call people. Alright, just the regular contacts, it seems. Except for one. Well, we'll figure that all out later. Alright, let's get back into it. Alright, UPX, the new symbol of Akihabara, was located right in front of the station. In the hall on the 4th floor, preparations had been going on all morning for the ATF Akihabara Techno Forum Convention. Universities and labs from both inside and outside the country would work together to put on special seminars and symposiums at irregular intervals. My school, Tokyo Denki University, was participating as part of its industry collaboration efforts. Students were required to attend these seminars and submit reports to their instructors. Otherwise, they wouldn't get credit for their related classes. In addition, I was supposed to help one of the lecturers, Associate Professor Izaki. I had just gotten a list from the reception desk at the shared lobby. I was waiting to check off the names of students who were coming to the lectures. There was still some time before the seminar started, so the lobby was mostly empty. None of the students on the list were here yet. I was bored, but I couldn't do anything but wait. The old me never could have imagined doing anything like this, but impressing Izaki, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Is it Izaki instead of Izaki? Let's go with Izaki. Was part of my new goal in life. Victor Condria University. Yes, that was my new goal. Izaki did a lot of joint research projects with them and knew a lot of people there. The best first step to getting there my brain could come up with was being his assistant. Also, this convention was holding another seminar by Victor Condria University after the one held this summer. Of course, that interested me too. Summer. And some bad memories. An image of her as she was then flashed through my mind. I was trying to get Victor Condria so that I could, get to Victor Condria so that I could learn about the work that Kurisu Makise had been doing. It's weird that they're reversing the first and last name now. That it's actually first name, last name now. I think. Let's go with that. I wanted to try to do it myself. Of course, I wasn't a genius like Kurisu. I knew there was no way I'd ever be able to do exactly what she did. But if I could do even 10% of it, honestly, I'm amazed that I've recovered so well. I thought that to myself and chuckled, just as a voice called to me from across the lobby.
ちょっと、そこの方?
Ah, it's a new main character that I've actually seen quite a bit because the anime is ongoing right now. And boy oh boy, there are a lot of images of the new characters and I have no idea who they are. So I guess this is our first new one. I looked up and saw a young girl approaching from the elevator hall. She was short and petite. Everything about her was small. I could kind of make out a few of the curves that don't appear until after puberty, so at least she wasn't in elementary school, but maybe middle school? For someone with such a cute face, she clearly didn't care about her appearance. Her hair wasn't styled and it flowed down her back. Even I could tell her clothes weren't very fashionable.
ごめんなさい。スタッフルームってどこかしら?
ここは ATF のセミナー会場だけど。
Clearly not a place where a middle school girl belonged. She'd probably just come to the wrong place.
そんなの分かっているわ。何度同じ話を繰り返せば気が済むの?
いや、今初めて行ったんだけど。
私にとってはあなたで4回目よ。この場所に来てからね。
Irritated, she pulled a card out of her jacket. It was one of the IDs given out to invited guests. Her name and the name of her workplace were written on the front.
Huh?
Victor Condria University, USA, Brain Science Institute. Ooh.
Victor Condria 大学脳科学研究所?
That's what I just said. I looked at the card, and then at her, then back at the card. And then I looked at her again. I finally realized.
あ、そういうことか。
You know, guys, I have Dr. Pepper with me. You know, I thought about recording something else, but I was like, you know what? Dr. Pepper only goes well with Steins Gate.
そのカードどこに落ちてたんだ？拾ってくれたん？
その話も4回目よ。
Jesus. She sighed and showed me another card. This one was a photo ID from Victor Kandria University.
え？
It was the same ID I'd seen Kurisu holding before on another world line. The photo on the card, yeah, that was definitely her.
Hiyajo Maho って読むの。私の名前、Hiyajo Maho。漢字でもローマ字でも誰も読めた試しがないから、先に言っとくわ。
ビクトル・コンドリア大学の中学生？
God damn it.
寝ぼけるなら夜にして。大学に中学生がいるわけないでしょ。
Yeah, but some have high schools apparently.
それもそうだな。じゃあ飛び級か。
Unlike in Japan, it wasn't uncommon for Americans to skip grades. Kurisu had made it to university at age 17. But still, a girl this young working in a university lab?
一つ確認していいかしら。
おう。
あなた今少なからず衝撃を受けてるわよね。こんな小さい子が信じられないかしら。それともこの年齢ですごいの方。
She got me.
ここをよく見なさい。
The girl, Maho Hiyajo, pointed to the part of the ID with her slender fingers. She was born in 1989, and it was 2010, so...
21歳。
つまり立派な成人女性よ。中学生じゃないのよ。もちろん小学生でも幼稚園児でも。
And then she puffed out her chest. There wasn't much to see, but I can imagine her saying, they look bigger. Ugh. They look bigger when I'm not wearing clothes. They're huge. Ooh.
何かしらその顔は。
いや、悪かった。謝る。
I couldn't believe it. She was older than me. If Daru was here, he'd be dancing around screaming, legal lolly for the win.
まあいいわ。世界中どこへ行っても同じ目に遭ってるから。
そうだろうな。
何か言った？
いや、別に。
Still, the Brain Science Institute? And that's where Kurisu worked. Which means this person, might know a lot about Kurisu. I held back the impulse to start badgering her with questions. I looked at the pamphlet with the seminar schedules. Victor Kandria's lecture was the last one for the day, and was clearly intended to be the biggest. Was this Maho Hiyajo girl going to give a lecture? Just like Kurisu had done at the summer convention, excuse me there. No, wait, that's wrong. That never happened. Kurisu Makise never gave any lectures over the summer. That happened in the Alpha World Line. In the world line I inhabited now, before the summer convention, she'd already...
君が今日は登壇を？
いいえ、私は助手として来たの。あと通訳も兼ねてね。
I looked at the pamphlet again and saw that the lecturer was a man named Alexis Leskinen. Alexis Leskinen. A professor at Victor Kandria University and the chief researcher of the Brain Science Institute. Sorry guys, can't speak today.
テーマは人工知能革命か。面白そうだ。
時間があったらぜひ聞いてみてほしいわね。
Oh hell yeah.
そうするよ。スタッフルームだったよな。
I led Maho over to the elevator hall and showed her where the staff room was.
ありがとう。
I had no reason to hang around her any further. I said goodbye and was just about to turn around. Just then, the elevator opened. A woman emerged. The instant I saw her face, every hair on my body stood on end. Oh, I knew it. It's been a while. Moeka Kiryu. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. Calm down. This is the Beta World Line. Mayuri is alive. Moeka's not going to kill her. Our eyes met. Well, same thing. The eyes on the other side of her glasses were as dead as ever, and it was impossible to tell what she was thinking. I frantically averted my gaze before she realized something was wrong. She tilted her head for a second, but quickly lost interest in me and turned toward Maho.
ああ、雑誌社の方でしたよね。
お約束通り、取材を。
Even in this world line, Moeka still only spoke in faint whispers.
レスキネン教授はまだなんです。少しお待たせしてしまいますけど。
はい。
それまで私でよければシステムの概要でも。
お願いします。
The two of them disappeared into the staff room. As I watched them leave, I took a deep breath. I tried to calm down, but it wasn't working.
桐生萌か。もしかしてまたお前なのか。
It was a terrible feeling, like a cold finger tracing the wounds in my heart. And that night, when the terrorist threat shut down all the trains in Akihabara, that awful night, when I just knew something was going to happen.
ここでもまたお前が。
I like how they redid her her sprite. It's pretty cool. I hope they did everyone's, or redid everyone's, because it's been a few months. I'm sure everyone's changed just a tiny bit. Or was I just imagining things? Was she just a magazine reporter now instead of a CERN rounder? Probably not. No, even if Moeka was a rounder, we had nothing to do with CERN anymore. CERN wouldn't be watching us. I took another deep breath, grabbed some of the anxiety meds in my pocket, and swallowed them down with some mineral water I'd bought ahead of time. It would take 15 minutes for them to kick in. Those 15 minutes were always pretty rough. Damn, Okabe's really gone through some shit in the past few months. He has really become a different person. You can pretty much tell with this anxiety that he's facing. I laughed at myself a little and sat down on one of the reception desk's chairs. The table was filled with leaflets, pamphlets, and other things for the attendees. Also, we got mail, I think. Yep, it's Mayuri. Do Okarin, are things going okay with Mr. Seminar? There was a little accident, I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll just go with no problem. You know, everything's all good. I got another achievement, so that was pretty easy. Alright, well, I like this new system. It's pretty, it's a lot more modern. That's also not at all what I wanted to press. Oh, shit. I see, that's great. I can't wait to see what kind of seminar it will be. Mayushi wishes she could have seen it too. It may be a little too hard for you to follow. God damn it, what the fuck? You're right. Okay, I don't want to get in your way. Bye. I guess that was that. That's very cool. I like how they modernized the messaging a little bit. My eyes wandered to one of the pamphlets. Nakabachi Theory and the Genealogy of Pseudoscience. This pamphlet was for Professor Izaki's seminar. Excuse me there, I'm going to fuck that up so many times. Nakabachi Theory. The paper he'd announced in Russia. That paper held the key to creating a real time machine. On that day, July 28th, Nakabachi had stolen the paper from Kurisu, his own daughter, and left with it. I knew that. Only Nakabachi and I knew that. I flipped through the pamphlet. It was a brief introduction to the many forms of pseudoscience and fake scientific discoveries that had emerged since the start of the 20th century. On its own, it did make for interesting reading. And at the end of the pamphlet, Nakabachi theory was introduced as nothing more than another entry in that long list of fakes. So Dr. Nakabachi's time machine theory had been completely ignored by the academic world. All the glory, fame, and power he'd wanted so badly that he was willing to get rid of his own daughter, he didn't get any of it. And I'd heard rumors that after the announcement, he'd been imprisoned in a Russian lab. To make it even funnier, he thought he was getting VIP treatment. For a short time, there were essays and interviews in bogus academic journals. Even there, it was obvious it had all gone to his head. The ironic thing was that Nakabachi theory was completely correct and completely revolutionary. The Russian government was worried about it leaking, and the SVR was doing everything it could to keep it under wraps. But under the surface, there was a full-scale information war beginning over the paper. The time traveler from 2036, John Titor, had told me so, which meant it had to be true. Was World War III really going to happen? And there was no point in thinking about it. Just a little more before the drugs kicked in, I closed my eyes. Poor Okabe. He's really changed. I can already tell. Several hours later, man, did we just go to sleep or some shit? The convention was going well. After Professor Izaki's seminar, most of the students from my university went home, but I killed some time and came back. I wanted to hear the Victor Condria lecture. I headed to the hall with plenty of time to spare and saw Maho Hiyajo coming from the staff room. She was with a very tall foreigner. Was that Alexis Leskinen? I'm pretty sure that's actually another main character. I think I saw a clip from the anime that was posted somewhere on Reddit, and I think that was him. I don't know. There's too many characters that they're introducing in this, man. It didn't seem like an American name, but maybe he was an immigrant like Kurisu, or at least descended from one. I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but the looks on their faces were so serious that I couldn't help but listen. Since they were both speaking in English, I could barely make out any of it, but I could tell from their voices that it wasn't a pleasant chat. Wait, did I just hear the word makise? I hated the fact that I couldn't speak English. If I'd known this was going to happen, I would have gone to an English school. The two of them walked into the waiting room for lectures. It was located, or lecturers, sorry. It was located right next to the UPX theater. I put together the few fragments I was able to understand. Fire at Kurisu's house. Mrs. Makise is alright. Robbery, the police called off the investigation. Why was the FBI there? It doesn't make sense. I think that's what they were saying. Kurisu's house. Do they mean where she lived in America? Her mother should still live in America. Is that where the fire was? And then words like robbery and the investigation was called off. I really wanted to know more. I stood there and worried until it was time for the lecture to begin. With nothing else to do, I went inside the theater. A big boy theater right here. I could tell earlier by looking at the size of the crowds going inside, but it was a very high energy crowd. The atmosphere was clearly different than Izaki's seminar, which was mostly students there for credit. The place was nearly full with a crowd of scientists and people who wanted to learn about cutting-edge technology. Victor Condria's researchers had published a slate of papers in science recently, and had gotten a lot of media attention. Maybe that was why. Were there any empty seats? I found a single open seat at the edge. I found a single empty seat at the edge. I don't know why I said that twice, but when I looked at who was sitting next to it, I moaned. Oh, great. Fuck my life, man. Fuck our life. You again? Moeka Kiryu was there. She was speaking to no one, just typing endlessly into her phone. I had once named her Shining Finger because of her incredible typing speed, and she was as fast as ever. Who was she talking to? I didn't even want to imagine. I quickly turned away and looked for another seat. Dr. Leskinen reached the podium almost the exact instant I sat down. There was a huge wave of applause. But when they saw the tiny little girl come up next to him, the applause faded into confused murmurs. Maho must have expected this. Her expression didn't change in the slightest as she stood next to the professor. In fact, when she took the microphone from the professor and looked around the theater, she looked like she belonged there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man, that is some English. First, Dr. Leskinen began to speak in English. When he made eye contact with Maho, she began to interpret.
Thank you for attending.
皆さん、本日は私のセミナーに集まってくださって感謝します。ビクトル・コンドリア大学脳科学研究所のアレクシス・レスキネンです。専門は脳信号処理システムおよび人工知能理論になります。
I hate to say it, but I think they're using a Japanese man to voice this guy that knows some English, but I don't know.
そして私は助手のヒヤジョウマホです。同じく脳科学研究所で教授の指導に沿って研究をしています。よろしく。
The audience started murmuring again. That was the same way I responded when I met her. Well, that'll happen, yeah.
では早速ですが、私たちの最先端研究の一端をご紹介します。テーマは人工知能革命としましたが、これからデモンストレーションするシステムはおそらく皆さんの想像を超えたものではないかと思っています。
Dr. Leskinen stood in front of the laptop that had been placed on the podium and started to type.
このパソコンですが、研究所のスーパーコンピューターの一つと接続されています。ああ、まだプロジェクターには映さないで。
One of the staffers was about to display the laptop screen on the front projector. Some kind of important program must have been booting up, because Maho Hiyajo stopped them.
すみません、まだ開発途中なんです。非常に美的センスのないプログラムが画面いっぱいに溢れ返っています。こんなチープなプログラムを見られるのは恥ずかしい。裸を見られるよりもね。
Alright.
この中にエンジニアの方がいるなら理解していただけますよね。
Some of the audience got the professor's joke and laughed.
起動するまでの間、このシステム全体の概略を説明しましょう。
And there was another projector in the center of the stage. A diagram appeared on its screen. At the top of the diagram was a Japanese translation for the general audience. An analysis of neural pulse signals relating to memories stored in the temporal lobe. I knew that title well. In fact, I was sure I could never forget it. It was the title of an essay written by a 17-year-old genius and published in Science. She had completely analyzed the nerve impulse patterns that governed human memory and used that to digitize the memories themselves into data. And she had used that to invent the time leap machine right in front of my eyes. Though none of that had actually happened anymore.
サイエンス誌に掲載されたので、ご存知の方もいるでしょう。これは私たちのチームにいた天才的な日本人研究者によって提唱され、完成されたものです。
人
間の記憶は大脳皮質、とりわけ側頭葉に記録されます。いわゆるフラッシュメモリみたいなもの。そのメモリに記憶を書き込んだり読み出したりするのが側頭葉にある海馬傍回という部位になります。
Dr. Leskinen pointed to the diagrams of the brain and hippocampus on the screen.
脳はニューロンと呼ばれる細胞の間を電気信号が伝わっていくことで働いています。記憶というのも実はこういった電気信号の伝わりの一つなのです。その働きを制御しているのが海馬傍回と言ってもいいでしょう。つまり電気信号が海馬傍回を出入りすることで記憶は作られていくんですね。そこでマキセ・クリスはこの論文を書いた日本人研究者です。
Oopsies.
マキセ研究員は考えました。海馬傍回を通る電気信号が電気信号のパターンと大脳皮質の
Maho started to have trouble with her interpreting. She was getting confused. No matter how good you were with languages, interpreting for a long period of time had to be difficult, and yes, I absolutely fucking believe this. I have no doubts. There is no way I could ever imagine myself becoming an interpreter. Not only that I just don't know any languages, but if I did, I feel like that'd just be way too much going on. My brain would be in like two different directions. I'd once read an article on the internet that said even a professional can't do it for more than 20 minutes. International conferences and live broadcasts from overseas were actually handled by a team of people switching off. Or maybe, was she having trouble because Kurisu's name came up? Dr. Leskinen, saw she was having trouble and cut himself off.
すみません。マキセ研究員は海馬傍回を出入りする電気信号のパターンに着目しました。そのパターンが大脳皮質のどの記憶と対応しているのか解析を行って完全なデータを得たのです。これによって記憶という曖昧でアナログなものを電気信号のパターンの組み合わせというデジタルなものに変換する基礎理論が確立されたのです。これがサイエンス誌に掲載された彼女の論文です。そして現在私たちのチームはその理論をもとに人間の記憶をデジタルデータとして取得するシステムを開発しています。
A wave of whispers swept across the theater.
それはすなわち人間の記憶をコンピューターに保存しそれを活用するシステムということになります。
The whispers turned into a low roar. I see. So even after her death, Kurisu's research was being carried on. Of course, maybe it was natural that it would be. And that was the basic theory for time leaping, which I had proved myself, even if I could never prove it to anyone else, in the Alpha World line. My memories had been turned into data and stored on a computer. There was no doubt about that. And what Dr. Leskinen was talking about right now was the basic technology required for that process.
現在、私たちが行っているプロジェクトは主に2つです。1つは医療分野への応用です。
The slide on the projector changed.
こちらは精神生理学研究所と共同で行っているプロジェクトです。コンピューターに保存した記憶データを海馬傍回を通して再び元の脳に書き戻すというもので
Incredible!
Someone who looks like a grad student in the front row shouted. Dr. Leskinen didn't seem particularly put off by the interruption. Maho continued her interpretation.
You don't believe it? I know how you feel.
信じがた
I'd
い
be thinking the
です
same
か。
thing if I were you.
その気持ちは理解できます。私も皆さんの立場であればそう言ったでしょう。
But let me just ask you.
しかし
Can you imagine
この研究
the
に
incredible
私たちは
applications
手
of
応
this
えを感じ
technology?
ています。これが実用化できればどんなに素晴らしいことでしょう。
We could treat memory loss in
例えば
secondary or
老化による記憶障害
problems that currently have
あと
no cure.
はアルツハイマーなどそうしたものへの対処療法が期待できます。
Anyone's memories could be
患者の記憶をデータ
as
として
digital
自動
data.
的にバックアップしていくのです。
Even if a memory is lost,
記憶が
the
失われ
every
たと
time
しても
it's possible to
その都度
access a
PC にアク
and
セスし
reinstall data in the
脳内
brain.
にデータを再インストールすることが可能です。
That is a very weird way to state that, but I had never thought about that back when I was going through the first game. I'd never thought, oh yeah, maybe this could be used for health reasons or more scientific reasons other than time leaping. It's very interesting shit.
We could halt the progress of
そ
senility
れ
and
によっ
dementia.
て
That's
忘
the
却
sort
の
of
進
thing
行
we
を食い
believe
止められる
this
のでは
research
な
can
いか。
accomplish.
私たちはそう考えています。
Eventually, it would be
最
possible
終
to
的に
directly
は
and continuously
海馬妨
access
害か
data
ら
stored on a
PC 内の
computer
記憶
to
データ
the
に
target
常時
computers.
アクセスできるようになるでしょう。
So if the brain were to lose
そうすれ
significant
ば
functionality,
脳
say
機能が
through brain
失われ
damage
た
or
状態
atrophy,
例えば脳が激しく損傷したり萎縮してしまった場合などですが
the system would essentially
その
take
よう
up
な
the
状
slack
態
of
でも
whatever part of the
変わら
brain
ず
was
脳
firing.
機能を維持できます。
Think of it like an
あた
external
か
hard
も
drive.
外部ストレージと同じように
A strange feeling griped the hall, or gripped the hall, excuse me. Part of it was shock and the feeling that they were witnessing the announcement of an incredible technology. Part of it was skepticism that a system like this could ever actually work. Part of it was revulsion at the idea of playing around with a human brain like that. An excitement born of all these things passed from one member of the crowd to another. Dr. Leskinen raised his hand to encourage questioners.
I'm seeing some of you have questions.
どうやら
before we
2
move
つ
to
目の
our
プロジェ
second
クト
project.
をお話しする前に質問を受け付けないといけないようですね。
I'll answer as many as I can. Go
で
ahead.
きる範囲でお答えします。どうぞ。
Many hands were raised. I could tell that there was a wide age range of people interested. Both young and old were raising their hands. Dr. Leskinen pointed to a questioner. Man, his name is crazy. This was the first question. Sampling would be required when digitizing analog memories. Does that mean any information would be lost? The professor nodded as he listened to the question in Japanese and began to respond in English when the speaker finished. Maybe he was able to understand Japanese, if not speak it.
Let me reflect
そ
that.
の質問を言い換えると
You're talking about attempting to
オーケストラの
record
生
an
演奏
orchestral
を
performance and how we
WAV
can
のデータに
navigate
保存する
it
際
with the best
生
last
演奏
moment.
の全てを完璧に記録することはできないと
That's certainly a concern. In
確か
fact,
に
it's one
そ
of
の
the
懸念
most
はありま
pressing
す。
issues our
現
research
在の
is
研究で
addressing right now.
最も困難な問題の一つです。
Now, if the intercerebral network
脳
uses
内の
simple
ネットワークが
on-off states for
神経伝達物質
like
の
binary
オ
data,
ンオフだけ
it
で
would be easy.
つまり二進数的にデータのやり取りをしているのであれば簡単な問題でした。
After all, that's
それ
how
は
our computer deals
デジタ
with
ル
it.
データと同じことだからです。
Unfortunately, intercerebral
しかし
transmission
実際に
substances
は
and signals are
伝
much
達
more
物質や
analog
電
than
気
they
信
are
号
digital.
は脳内でアナログ的に変化することが分かっています。
So at present, the best
この
solution
問題に関しては
is simply to store data
今の
at
と
the
ころ
highest possible
より
sampling
高い
rate.
サンプリングレートでデータをサンプルする方法しか手段を持っていません。
In musical teams, you could
音
say
楽の話で言えば
something at 48
44.1kHz よりも 48kHz 48kHz よりも 96kHz でサンプリングするといった具合です。 それによってデジタルでありながらアナログデータに近い情報を得ようとしています。
Little by little, the mood in the room was turning to disappointment. People were beginning to wonder if this was just a pretty theory that wouldn't work in reality. More questions came. All of the questioners were skeptical of the professor's theory, and many of them seemed to be outright challenging him. I started to get upset. I was gonna stick a little upset, but potato. This was Dr. Leskinen's research. His name just really throws me off, but it was also Kurisu's. I knew better than anyone that it worked, and the sight of so many people refusing to give it a chance infuriated me. Were these people really scientists? I tried to keep myself under control and looked back towards the podium. Was she mad? She certainly looked disappointed. Dr. Leskinen was very polite with the rude questioners, acknowledging the problems with the theory. She was very different. Her anger was starting to seep into her interpreting too. I felt a kind of kinship with her. Oh man, we building a social link? The question and answer session continued.
そもそもこれは医学的に無謀でしょう。デジタルデータを脳に書き戻すなんて絶対に不可能だ。正気の沙汰ではない。サイエンス誌に掲載されたあの論文も読みましたが、にわかには信じられない。ましてや、筆頭著者が若干17歳の女性だったとあっては。
That was the one thing I couldn't ignore.
あなたね。
意義あり。
Oh shit.
あ？
The two people on stage and the entire audience all turned toward me at once.
やってみもしないで何がわかるって言うんだ。最初は無理だと思われてた技術なんてこの世にいくらでもあるじゃないか。でもそれを克服した研究者がいたからこそ今があるんだろう。ただ批判するだけじゃ何も生まれない。
The whole theater went silent, but I didn't regret standing up.
あなた。
On the stage, Maho Hiyajo was staring at me in shock. And as for Dr. Leskinen, I saw a flash of white teeth as our eyes met.
Awesome. It's really something.
Hell yeah, we are in English. He started to applaud. Why was he applauding? That just makes things embarrassing.
素晴らしい。彼はなかなか大したやつだ。ですって。
Maho translated the professor's words for me to hear.
Nonetheless, a scientist
た
must
だし
always remain composed.
科学者たるもの常に冷静でなければいけない。
The only time when it is
大
possible
声で怒鳴
to
って
shout
いい
is
のは
when your
実験
experiment
が
is a
成功
success
した
and you
時
say,
の
"We did it,"
We did it.
and that should be enough.
それだけで十分
What was the point of interpreting
だ
that?
そうですよ。
すみません。
I lowered my head and sat down. I thought I was calm, but I guess I let my emotions get away from me. I hadn't grown up at all in the past 6 months. If Kurisu was here, she'd make fun of me again. I could feel the rest of the audience staring at me coldly. It hurt. If I could have left, I would have wanted to. But I was too interested in hearing the rest of Dr. Leskinen's talk to move.
And anyway, moving on.
それでは皆さん、そろそろ次に。
Oh, first, a round of applause,
でも、
please, for our
その
great
前
friend.
に勇敢な彼に拍手をお願いします。
Oh no. Please no.
Men like him are what
彼
drives
のような
scientific
挑戦者
progress
こそが
and enact the
科学を
world's
進歩させ、
remarkable theories.
あっと驚くような理論を作り上げるのです。
He may even become the third
彼なら
Einstein.
きっと第3のアインシュタインになれるかもしれませんね。
The second Einstein, of course,
ちなみに
demised slightly, was
第
an
2のアイ
assistant
ンシュ
here.
タインはここにいるちょっと小うるさい私の助手。変なこと言うのはやめてください、教授。
The audience chuckled. Sheesh.
さて、ここで私はしばらく通訳をお休みさせていただきます。これから私よりも優秀な通訳が登場します。これが私たちのチームが今最も力を入れている2つ目のプロジェクト。アマデウスシステムです。
Well, I've heard of this somewhere. When she finished speaking, Maho walked to the back of the stage. At Dr. Leskinen's signal, the PC screen was displayed on the projector. And then I heard a voice.
皆さん、初めてお目にかかります。
The murmuring got louder than before, but it felt more uncertain than surprised. On the screen, I could see a detailed 3D model of Maho, the girl who'd just been interpreting.
ちなみにこれは映画などで有名なドリンクワークススタジオに作成してもらったモデルです。
Maho Hiyajo chimed in from the back of the stage.
声については私のボイスサンプルをデータベースにして日本の山名が作ってくれました。
This was CG? It sure looked real to me. The professor said something into the laptop's microphone. And then the 3D model of Maho Hiyajo on the screen opened its mouth.
私はヒヤジョウ・マホです。正確に言うなら78時間22分前のヒヤジョウ・マホから派生した存在ということになります。
If you listen carefully, you might be able to hear something slightly off. But it sounded far more human than any artificial voice I'd ever heard.
先ほどから皆さんの質問を聞かせていただいていました。教授はどうして私を早く紹介しないのかとてももどかしく思っていましたよ。以前から感じていましたが、どうも教授は人が悪いようですね。まったくだわ。
The Maho Hiyajo on the screen spoke with a slightly irritated expression, and the Maho Hiyajo by the wall nodded in agreement. Dr. Leskinen simply smiled. What was going on here? What part of this was their biggest project? The rest of the audience didn't seem to have any more of a clue than I did.
皆さんの多くは疑問に思っています。人間の記憶をデータとして取り出したり、それを保存したり、さらにはそのデータを活用したり、そんなことが本当に可能なのかと。それでは私は一体何でしょうか。私は78時間23分前のヒヤジョウ・マホの脳内から取り出された記憶を持ち、そのデータをベースにして動いているのです。
What did she just say? The professor said something else in rapid English and asked the Maho on the screen to translate it. But she, if she was the right word, hesitated and went silent. I looked at the real Maho, and she was responding exactly the same way.
教授、今のは。教授、今の発言はセクシャルハラスメントとして大学に訴えてもいいでしょうか。
Dr. Leskinen laughed cheerfully and responded to her. The conversation was in quick English, and over half the audience couldn't understand it. The real Maho sighed and took back the microphone.
教授はですね、私に対して、いえ、私の記憶で動作しているこのアマデウスに対して質問に答えてごらんと言いました。
I gotta watch my trigger finger.
いつ頃までパパとお風呂に入っていたかとか、初恋はいつだったかとか、何でも答えられるだろうと。ああ、もうそれ以上通訳しなくていいわ。恥ずかしいからやめてくれないかしら。私はそういう質問には一切答えないわよ。
The professor said something else, and the Maho on the screen groaned and turned away.
クレジットカードの番号なんてもっと言えません。あと1週間前に着ていたパジャマの色なんて覚えてるわけないです。
What was this? It was so natural I couldn't tell at first, but this was something unbelievable, wasn't it? It felt very different than a typical AI. I could tell that much. It wasn't answering the questions it was given? And because they were embarrassing? Was it programmed to respond like that to certain questions for the purpose of this demonstration? It was possible that's all it was, but if that conversation wasn't programmed in advance, the rest of the crowd seemed to reach the same conclusion I did, and the whispers started to turn into surprised murmur.
ねえちょっといい加減このいたずらな子供を何とかしてくれないかしら。何をしたいのか理解はできるけど、とにかく恥ずかしいわ。
The copy of Maho was complaining to the original, and it felt like I was watching a pair of twin sisters talking.
いたずらな子供ではなく、レスキネン教授が面白がってなかなか説明してくれないので、代わりに私がお話しします。
Thank God, because I have no idea what the hell's happening. Maho walked back to the professor.
皆さん、もうお分かりかと思いますが、アマデウスは自分が話していいこととそうでないこと、あるいは話したいことと話したくないことを自ら判断して喋っています。私たちはアマデウスにそういったプログラムを一切施していません。
I knew it.
彼女は与えられた私の記憶からそれを独自に判断し、自律的にそういう行動をとっているのです。
The Maho on screen suddenly took over for her.
そしてこれは先ほどの医療分野への応用とは方向性が真逆になってしまい、研究所内でもずっと議論が交わされていることですが、私は不必要な情報をいつの間にか忘れてしまうというか、記憶の引き出しから出してこられなくなるのです。皆さんと同じようにです。例えば1週間前に着ていたパジャマの色、確かにそれを知っていたはずなのに今は思い出せません。そのような情報は生存していく上で必要がないからです。これも皆さんと同じです。
Very interesting. AI that has the sort of thought process and memory deal that a human does.
このようにアマデウスは記憶のインプットやアウトプットが人間のそれと非常に近いのです。これは私たちも驚くべき結果として研究を重ねている最中で、まだ詳しくは解明されていません。
As Maho finished up, Dr. Leskinen took the microphone back. She resumed interpreting as he continued the lecture.
However, what really surprised us
さらに
was that Amadeus
私たちを
traditionally laughed.
驚かせたのは、アマデウスが意図して嘘をつくということ。
And not as some sort of bug
何らか
or
の
glitch.
トラブルや
This is
ミスでは
purposeful
なく、
behavior.
わざとそうするのです。
Lying is really just
嘘は
another method of human
人
communication.
間が他人とコミュニケーションを取る上での一つの手法です。
Amadeus examined the memories
アマデウスも
and has no
インプットされた記憶を自律的に検討し、
if it deemed
必要であれば
action necessary.
自分や他人のために平気で嘘をつきます。教授、誤解を招くような言い方はやめてください。嘘をつくのに平気なことなんてありません。私だって両親が咎めます。
I'm so sorry, and
Dr. Leskinen cut off. He seemed to be hesitating. Maho didn't seem especially surprised by this. Maybe she knew the reason. But the moment passed, and the professor continued. And Maho translated his words like there was nothing shocking about them at all.
this has led us to some
この
interesting
ような
conclusions.
検証を続けていくことで、最終的に私たちは
For one, We believe it's possible
ア
for
マデウス
Amadeus
に
to eventually
人
possess
間
a
と
mind
同様の
functionally
魂を
identical
宿すことができるのではないかと考えています。
I was stunned. A soul? Should one of the leading brain scientists in the world really be using a word with such a vague definition?
In other words, true
これこそ
artificial intelligence.
本当の意味での人工知能ということになります。
The whole hall got very quiet. And it was sheer chaos for a while after that, as everyone tried to debate their own personal theories with Dr. Leskinen at once. Jesus, that was crazy. That was hard to, keep up with all that. That was absolutely interesting, but chaotic. Alright, so that is where we're going to end it. So I said in the beginning of this session that I don't know about doing long episodes anymore. I may or may not keep this as one episode or split it into two. I guess we will see whether I am saying this at the end of a long episode 1 or a not as long episode 2. But regardless, thank you for watching. And I probably won't do 1 hour long episodes at all for the entire playthrough. I just don't really have the time. Today was an exception. We'll see, and I'll probably talk about it more later on, but regardless, I hope you guys are, ready to stay tuned for another long ride with Okabe Rintaro and the gang and some new members and all that. It'll be a very interesting experience. Let's go ahead and save it here. We have a backlog. I don't really know what that is, but whatever. So we'll save it here. Again, I really like the GUI. Very nice here. But anyways, thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this episode or episodes, again, I don't know what I'll do. Leave a like, subscribe for more. We'll be on that Steins Gate grind, and I hope that I don't lag it as much as I did with the first one, because it shouldn't have taken me that long. I really pushed it back behind some other things, but we'll see what happens, and I'll try my best to get through things. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Take it easy.